Hey guys, Aaron here with Anarchy Outdoors. We got a guest today, Morgun King. He's my neighbor for a couple more weeks. We're excited to have him out. Morgan, introduce yourself real fast, 30 seconds.
Morgun King, I'm from Kaysville, Utah. Been shooting precision rifle for 6 years now. I've been traveling quite a bit and competing all over the country and in PRS and NRL hunter, and been able to have a fair bit of success just by being simple, I guess.
So we like. So you're an okay shooter then.
I'm decent, I feel like. I'm not like...
Morgan's a super humble guy. He's a two-time national champion.
Yeah.
Two-time national champion. He shoots really well. But what we like most about Morgan's style is he's very simple, very basic, very fundamental. So we're going to talk today about one of his practice drills. I call it the 10-second drill, but Morgan was just telling me about how he doesn't like the name I put on it. So we'll let Morgan talk about a little bit about what he likes to call it and what he's doing, the mechanics of it.
Yeah, I just call them one-shot drills because I feel like I don't want to put a time on it because it's different for every position and for every person. So I put a par on the timer long enough that it doesn't matter, right? You're never going to run into the time because when I'm practicing, especially, I don't want to focus on getting something done fast. When I'm doing these drills, the important part is that you got to find a benchmark. How long does it take you to set up a position? That's what I'm trying to figure out. So when I ask somebody to go fast, I'm just trying to figure out essentially how long it takes them to do. Just get in the position, get stable, and pull a trigger, because then that tells me, okay, that's how long it takes to do that. And then what I do, and say that's 7 seconds. Let's just give an arbitrary number. Then I go and I say, okay, that means that if you're all out as fast as you can go, now let's add some time to that, and that's what we want to be in practice. A lot of times I'll add 4 seconds or so to my fast time. I might show up one day and say, I'm going to work on this position today. And then I go a couple times really fast to figure out what my benchmark time is, and then I slow her down quite a bit. And I try to emphasize perfection while I'm doing it. But I want to still maintain speed and efficiency when building the position, because I want to change my focus from I want to practice being able to do it really fast, subconsciously, just building a position, but then I want to transition or get my brain prepared to start shifting gears as soon as my bolt closes. And I want to shift from speed and efficiency to then conscious, deliberate actions, going through my shot process and making sure I make perfect trigger pulls. And so when you guys are doing that, like for me, I add 4 to 5 seconds of doing that, and I will still be really, really fast, getting level and everything like that. And then as soon as my finger touches the trigger, then I think squeeze, and I try to I want to drag that out as long as possible. It's really difficult for people when I'll be shooting with them. It's really hard to squeeze a trigger for 3 seconds, and you guys can try that on your own, but it really, most people, they'll start squeezing, and then all of a sudden in a second the bullet's gone. They're like, man, I squeeze forever. And I'm like, well, maybe not. And the reason why I do that is because as soon as you start going to competition, it's going to speed up. So, and I do these, what I call slow. I do them at 3 speeds. I do the fast to figure out my position time, and then I do really, really slow to emphasize it, and then I do what I call match speed, and then I shorten that up from 3 to 4 seconds to about 2 to 3 seconds. Over top of my benchmark time. And what that allows is I call it match speed, and it should be a little faster. So if you're doing it in 7 seconds, somewhere around 9 seconds, and then really at a match, if you're doing it correctly, it's going to be somewhere between 7.5 to 8.5 seconds at a match, and that's exactly where you want it. And then it'll allow you to be able to make perfect trigger pulls, because the guy that wins matches is making 200 out of 200 perfect trigger pulls, and that's really what this whole game's all about.
Awesome. So what I take away is you find your fast benchmark.
Yep.
You slow it down for perfect practice, and then you hit the middle for match speed.
That's right.
Awesome. Well, let's go check it out. Let's try it out and see how it goes.
Okay. So like we talked about just on this one, we're just going for speed and efficiency.
Okay.
Try to do everything right though still. And then we'll see what your benchmark time is. So,
okay.
So you ready?
Yep.
Stand by. This is perfect. We got some stuff we can talk about.
Yes, we do.
So, right there, like you got your caps closed and you're trying to find the target. I know it's our first round of the day, but
it's good.
It's good. It's good to practice and get out of the way now. That's one thing I go through before I start the stage or anything like that. I always
caps, parallax, dial.
I think dope rifle scope wind is exactly what I think. So when I think dope, I look at my card and I look at my elevation turret, make sure that's good. And then I think rifle, and I look to make sure my rifle, I got bipods, everything set. I got my bag, and then I think scope, and I look at everything. I look diopter, power, parallax, elevation, windage, and then I think wind, and then I just kind of go think my last little bit on what am I going to hold here. So then I got a little plan there. That's just what I do, and I'm sure everybody has a different deal, but that's my little mnemonic because I have to have something to keep my ADHD brain going.
Yep. No, it makes sense, and it's good.
Yeah.
You know. Okay.
Right on.
Let's try it again.
So that was 13-4. I think we can probably do that. The other thing is I watch you, you're finding the target. I find it very helpful before I say I'm ready. I'm looking right back at that target,
right,
and then I look over top of the. I don't try to glass for targets,
right,
in your scope. It's
over the top, and
you've got a red dot here.
And as we're talking, I set up perpendicular. Right, I should have swung, knowing that I'm coming off at an angle.
Oh well,
right?
And that's a huge thing that I see a lot of guys, East Coast guys, were used to a square range. Sorry, I'm making you hold your gun like that, but
oh, you're good.
I see them. And when target acquisition is huge, and I see guys square up to the prop, right?
Because that's what you naturally want to do.
Yeah, that's why I always look to the target,
right.
And I score my whole body to the target to start. And then the other thing is so I score my body to the target. Then when as soon as the beep goes off, I go straight to put in my bag exactly where I want it, and then my gun on top of my bag. But then I look right back to my landmark.
To the target, you come right down on top
target, and then I look over and like for you, use your red dot. Put your red dot right on the target. And then get in your scope, and you'll be on it.
Let's do this again.
Okay, ready?
Yep.
Stand by. .10:01. So not bad. Let's do another one of those.
Okay.
Stand by.
That is a small target.
I know. 860. So now I would take, so we got an average of 9. So now what I want you to do is, we want to slow this down. So we're going to take 4 seconds and add there. That means I don't want the round going till 13 seconds. And I know that's going to be tough, but you need to, so now I want you to still set up the position, get on target, everything I want you to keep practicing as fast as you can, getting on the target, closing the bolt. Snap the bolt shut.
And then take a second.
And then not taking a second, I want you to get to the trigger and everything.
Right.
But now it's just slowly think, squeeze and adding pressure to the trigger. Ready?
Yep.
Stand by. So how fast do you think you did it in?
12.
1089.
I gotta slow it down.
Yeah. It's funny. Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny because I felt like I was there for all day.
Exactly.
Okay.
And so that's how it shows you like how hard it is to be able to do this. So.
Okay, so we'll slow it down again.
Ready?
Yep.
Stand by. $11:59. We're getting closer.
Really? I felt like I was sitting there all day.
I know.
But you're right. This is so good.
Yeah, and the thing is so I don't want to be surprised by when the trigger goes off, essentially, but I don't want to expect it.
Right.
And so there's a balance here, right? I want to know that my trigger is going to go off in the next 4 seconds, but I don't want to know exactly when. So I was talking to Nick Gardazzi at the last match I was at. We were talking, and he's like, you don't want to be surprised. And I'm like, because then you'll flinch, because it's like somebody walking around the corner going, ah, like, I'm like, yes, but if you know that person's coming, then you don't flinch. Right. So that's the thing, is you know it's coming, so you're not gonna react to it, but you can't know exactly when, or your body's gonna tense up into the recoil, and you're gonna do this squeeze now thing, and you don't want that going. So you just got to basically forget that you're wobbling and just squeeze it off until it just goes boom.
Okay.
So
we're gonna slow it down again. Here. 11. What was that? 11.
11:59.
We got okay.
One more second.
Okay.
Shooter ready. Stand by. Close the bolt. Close the bolt.
That was faster.
10:65. So I will tell you one thing. A place that a lot of people lose time is they want to get, and this is just another like tip, but. And I might have you do a fast one after this, after we talk about this, because I feel like we're gonna probably have to adjust the time, because a lot of people, they want to get on the target perfectly, and then they want to close the bolt, and then they have to get back on the target.
Right,
because so it adds up.
So you want to find the target and then close the bolt.
As soon as it's in your field of view, snap the bolt shut.
Okay.
Because what a lot of people end up, they don't realize that costs you 2 to 3 seconds.
Right, because you've wobbled off and you gotta come back.
Yeah, you're just gonna induce some stuff, and then you're all ready to go, and then you have to do this and then get back and do the same thing over again. So it ends up doing things twice. So
okay, we're gonna slow it down and we're gonna close the bolt fast.
Yep. Okay. So I want you to go back into doing. Let's do a fast speed one, okay? And make sure you're looking back to your landmark.
Yep.
Really pay attention to using that red dot you spent all that money to put on there. Ready?
Yep.
Stand by. Okay, so now we got another one. So there you sky loaded, right?
Yeah.
So see there, that's it right there. You want to be careful there, because you don't want to close it until your face is till you're actually looking through the scope, right?
Right.
So what I do, I know you had a sight on there, you got your sight, but then so what I try to do is, as soon as I point my gun at it, and usually I don't use a red dot, but when I point my gun at something, it's within a couple of mils of the center. But that's just because I've done it so much. But when you come in there, be ready to have your hand on your bolt, be ready. And as soon as you come in there, as soon as you see the target, that's when you shut it. And that's what you want to be your cue.
Okay.
Ready? Stand by.
So 11 seconds.
Huh?
11 seconds.
That was a 12.75. Wait, so let's go fast.
Okay.
Okay. And this time don't use your red dot, because I think your red dot's off.
Yeah, it is. It's off a little bit.
So just point the gun at it. Like look over top of the turret and there, kind of eyes, muzzle. So I use the tip of my muzzle and just kind of looking over and just point it at it, and then get down there. And then instead of you keeping your hand on your grip, as soon as you drop your gun on your bag, transition this hand to the bolt so that you're ready to just snap her shut.
Okay.
Stand by. .1146.
Okay, let's slow it down this time.
Okay. So how come, I'm just curious. So we've gotten slower. How come? I'm just curious.
Slower?
Mm-hmm.
I've been just thinking, processing, trying to not rush the trigger.
Yeah. So when we do it fast, because you're just trying to figure out how long it takes you to set it up.
Right.
So just kind of, you don't want to just send them just to send them, but almost just send them just to send them. Just kind of get stable.
Yeah, you got to set the benchmark.
Yep. You got rounds?
We got one.
One more. All right, let's do one.
Let's go. We'll go as fast as we can. Okay.
All right.
Here we go.
Stand by. .897. That's good. That's about what we thought our average was before.
Yeah.
So I think 13 is a good deal. I'm gonna do too fast to start this out.
Okay, review and start.
You should be able to just hit start now.
Okay. Engage. .619. So then review.
Yep.
Engage. .602.
Okay. So now I'm 6. So now I'm thinking about 10 seconds is gonna be my slow speed.
So add 4 seconds to it.
Yep. So I know how, but I'm gonna keep the same pace of getting everything, the bolt shut and everything, and then we're gonna go into that slow speed.
Then we're gonna do, okay. Impact. 9.05.
See, I'm still a little fast.
Okay.
Hold on. That's 20 seconds.
Yeah, that was it. Engage. Oh, wait, sorry, hit review. Engage. Impact. 932.
See, I gotta
slow it down a little bit.
Yeah, I gotta slow. See, it's just not easy for.
No, it's
anyway.
You just feel like you've got to be on the.
Yeah, but the idea is overemphasis of perfection.
Right, you want to slow it down so you're focused on the fundamentals, because you're naturally going to go fast. So if you can train yourself to go slow in a match, you're going to go that middle speed naturally.
The idea is to not train yourself. You're not training yourself to go slow, because you're training yourself to make a
good trigger squeeze,
a shift, because we're trying to go really, really fast in between. So you're trying to teach yourself to hurry the right stuff and slow down on the other.
Yep. Okay. Impact. 11.6.
Yeah. So
perfect.
My thing is if you're going fast and you keep going fast, there's no sense, right? We're practicing.
Right.
I could take 20 seconds doing it. So, right? So let's just, there's no sense. Like if you keep going, I'm fast, I'm fast, I'm fast. Well, why? You know, like there's the only thing
and watching
is
you,
it
and
shows
watching,
you your brain, right? Because it shows you how much our brain is trying to do things, even though our logic is not able to take over. Does that make sense? Like, I don't know if that makes much sense, but like we know I'm saying, okay, we need to slow this down to at least 10 seconds or slower, and I send 2 at 9 seconds. No reason, right? We're practicing. There's no point, and so I know what I have to do. But your fingers on the trigger and your brain just want that gun to go off so bad. So you got to train yourself to break that.
Yeah, because everyone says you got to be fast. Gotta be fast.
Well,
I got 90 seconds. I got 2 minutes. Whatever, right?
Yeah, you have to be fast, but
you make up the time in between moving and different things, instead of where it matters is slow down that trigger pull, slow down that the pieces that really matter, because impact's an impact.
That's right.
More impacts are better than, it's better to have 3 impacts than shoot all 10 rounds and have 0 impacts.
That's right.
So.
That's right. I mean,
now for someone like Morgan, it's better to have 10 impacts when there's
that's
only
what
9
that's what we're
possible.
going for, right?
Okay, here we go. Wait, what are we doing on this one? Middle speed?
Slow.
Slow. Okay. Impact. That was right on the money. 10-1-8.
Perfect. So that's perfect. So
that was perfect.
now I'm gonna go to what I call match speed.
So we're looking at 8 seconds.
Somewhere around 8.
Okay. .91, baby. Doesn't get much better than that. That's a good medium too.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. .28.
So I mean, you get to where you're pretty consistent in knowing where to go. And honestly, I do feel like that's where I end up a lot of times at matches. But the idea is that we're just trying to make and overemphasize perfection and getting used to what a perfect trigger pull feels like, and to where you can do that over and over and over again and keep all your shots on a plate that's barely a minute.
Yeah, just so you guys know, that plate out there is a circle.
It's a 4-inch circle.
It's a 4-inch circle at 405 yards, which makes it a 1-minute plate. It's gray and the background is gray. It's hard to see anyways in the scope, and it's small.
Yeah.
So we all impacts, right? Maybe 1 miss. I can't remember. I think all impacts.
I think I might not have held enough wind, or no, I held too much wind on one of them.
Yeah.
But
so yeah. So there you go. So there you go. The we'll call it the know your limits.
I just call them one-shot drill, you know?
We'll call it the one-shot drill, custom tailored.
Yeah.
So if you're on Morgan's level, you can call it a 10-second drill. If you're on my level, you got to call it the 14-second.
You know, and it's okay wherever you're at. But you know, people get really scared of, say, a 90-second 10-position stage. But if you really think about it, there's no reason to be super scared of them, because you know, like I'm going my slow speed or my medium, you know, kind of just match speed, and I'm right around the 8-second mark. And so yeah, it's going to take about I figure it takes 1 second to 2 seconds to break a position, and then add 1 second per step. So if I got to keep going back and forth this side to that side, that's about 2 steps. So I got to add, you know, that's going to take me a little bit longer to do that. So I got to speed up a little bit. But most of the time you're not doing, nothing's real ridiculous. And
especially if the stage settles. You know, like you've got 4 rounds from one position.
Oh yeah, no, if you've only got to move 1 or 2 times, not a big deal.
So we shot a couple weekends ago on over there, and we'll link the video where you can watch. Morgan takes a little bit of time at the beginning, but he makes up for it 4 rounds and 15 seconds at the very end of that stage. It's impressive.
It's not what you see. Just because you can go fast doesn't mean you should go fast all the time.
You don't always should go fast, but when you're got a solid position and you're not moving and you're running the gun, you know, the gun will run. So anyways, so we'll call that the what'd you call it?
One-shot drill.
The one-shot drill. We'll just call it the one-shot drill, tailored to your skill level. I would call myself bottom middle pack shooter. So 14 seconds. Morgan is, you know, he's on top of the game, and he did it in 10 seconds. You think you go much faster than that? If you got going faster, you'd start missing.
No,
I feel like this is a perfect medium.
This is where I like to be. That's my comfort zone, and I don't want to get much out of it. But if can I go faster? Oh, yeah, I've run this on this target in like 480 or something like that. Yeah.
So out here we shoot a lot of 90-second stages. So if you have 10 rounds, 90 seconds, you have what? Basically 7 seconds around, 8 seconds around.
Yeah.
Which is right where you're at.
Yeah, but you got to think of it like your first. That's my first.
But this is
I've got other
round
drills
impact.
I can do, you know, beyond this. But your first round is going to be, you know, that, and then it's going to be significantly slower if all you got to do is run the bolt. And
the first round's also a confidence builder, right? When you hit that first round impact, right? So if you take just a little bit longer on your first round, then you know the wind and
and I don't want to take too much time, right? I want to get it out of the barrel. I mean, get going.
Yeah, it's the happy medium, right?
Yeah. So I mean, I'm not going to speed up. I don't want to speed up unless I have to, right? I'm going to try to stay at that same space the whole time, and you get to where you know that as soon as the bolt closes, you know, okay, squeeze, 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 boom, and then, you know, it gets to where you know your stuff and things like that, and you get to where, like, you know, I can make those drills. You've seen that, like, it gets to where I like know exactly about how much time I'm on there, and then it's boom, you know, and you get to where, like, that's consistent, you know, I'm within 0.3 of a second doing my match speed.
So the real question is how often do you practice the one-shot drill?
That's like, I do this almost every time I come out.
Okay.
So because I mean, whether I practice other things or whatever, or if I want to work on positions and stuff, I do a lot of this. And everybody practices differently. I just like to isolate things, and I can isolate different things on different days doing this stuff.
Yeah, I like the one-shot drill because, you know, a lot of times, you know, ammo is hard to come by. Reloading is time-consuming. So you can get a lot out of 10 rounds or 20 rounds versus if you were to practice 5 full stages where you're not getting a lot because you're not thinking fundamentals, you know,
well, if you do,
out of every shot.
If you do 5 full stages, you're not able to isolate things.
Right, you can't isolate.
If you do a full stage, this is my opinion, if you do a full stage, a lot of times you're worried about the time and getting through it, and it'll help with gear management and things like that. But every time I pick my gun up here and I have to put my gun into this position, bag on, and get on the target, you know, as soon as I do, every time I do that, every time I break position and do that, and I focus on the speed of doing that, I get more, like, that's gonna get more out of it than if I go down there and I practice a rooftop stage or something like that, or if
especially a rooftop, because you're static.
Yeah, or
right?
Here, if I did try to do 5 positions off this in 90 seconds, I'm not getting much out of it because I am not analyzing each round that goes off.
Right.
I'm shooting and I'm trying to hit targets and get done in an amount of time. I'm not actually practicing.
Where this translates to a 90-second stage, because I mean, you just stacked 10 of these in a row, and guess what? You just shot your stage because you did them all under your 12 seconds or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, you were isolating something. You were isolating building position, right? Trying to build the position fast. Target acquisition.
Trigger pull.
And you do all that stuff. Like, and it is perfectly okay. I do this quite often. If I was like, that wasn't good, then I transition from like thinking about one thing to the next. Or some days, like if I know a while ago I got in the habit of not looking back to my landmark before I drop my head on the stock, right? Because when I come in here and I drop my gun down, I get in here and I look, and then I close. So I look back up before, and I get to where I wasn't doing that, and then all of a sudden you'll see me go close the bolt, then I'm looking, oh, there it is. And it doesn't look like much, but that's 1 second gone. And so that's a second that now I can't spend on the trigger.
Right.
And that to me is important. And it seems like something really little, but it's something I see a lot of people do. But you don't see me searching for targets, because when I drop my gun on here, I look back, I'm on the target.
And see, that's something I've always struggled with. So some of these tips today have been very helpful, and I try and remember.
Yeah, I know, and it's really tough. This is one place where I feel like dry fire is big, right?
Yep.
And in my mind, and everybody has a different thing. It's what I call a cadence. So in my, and this is what I do in my mind here, but a lot of times, say in dry fire, or sometimes when I'm practicing by myself, you'll see me, and I look back at the target. As soon as I'm on target, I snap the bolt shut, and then I think level, and I look at the level, and then I think trigger, my finger touches the trigger, and I think squeeze. So, and what I'll do is when I'm practicing by myself, you'll see me go, I'll say level, trigger, squeeze, and I'll say that out loud while I do it, and I'll level, trigger, squeeze. And what that allows me, what that does is that teaches my brain to have those words come to my mind while I'm doing it.
Yeah, it's habit, and it's muscle memory.
Yeah, and it's like it's a mnemonic that ends up coming back to me when I need it to. Yep. And so that I fall back to, this is where I fall back to. There's a quote, I can't remember the Greek philosopher, but he says you don't rise to like the occasion, you fall to the level of your practice, is essentially what he says. And so that's where, for me, I want to train to where what I fall back to is what's going to help me to be able to win. So that I basically, my default is winning. That's essentially what I want, you know.
See, and I love this, because a lot of guys will chase gear instead of doing like a dry fire cadence. You know, just talking to yourself, walking yourself through the action of the gun, checking your levels and everything as you come down. I mean, I think a lot of guys don't put the importance on that as they need to. So.
Yeah, because it doesn't take time, and every one of these drills, even while I was doing my fast speed, level, trigger, squeeze, you bet, is going on in my brain. And
otherwise the drill's pointless.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm not going to sacrifice that, because I want to know how long it takes me to build the position, do everything right, and get the round off as fast as possible, so that then I know how much time I need to add to make it to an overemphasis on that perfection.
Well, awesome. Anyways, quick recap: the one-shot drill. Focus on fundamentals. Focus on your ability level. Be 10, 14, 20 seconds, and then continuously improve. Baby steps, right? You've been shooting competitively at a high level for like 2 or 3 years, but you've been shooting your whole life.
Yeah, I mean, I've been shooting for a long time. I started competition in 2000, like very end of 2015. So it's been,
okay. So you started the same time I did.
Yeah.
Okay.
But so I mean, but I haven't been like putting a lot of emphasis on it for about 2 or 3 years, or this is my 3rd year putting a lot of emphasis on it. And so I know like this is something that it takes time to get to where you're really fast and efficient at it, but there's a lot of things that you can isolate and focus on, and it's really hard to get better at something, like I say, going and practicing full stages, because when you start doing that, when you start getting into that, you're not isolating things, and you send a lot of rounds and don't end up improving a lot. And so if you want to improve the rate of performance, isolation is the best thing.
Okay.
And
there we go.
That's my spiel on it.
1 second drill, baby. Okay.